Recognizing the students of the Indiana Math and Science Academies for their outstanding performance at the Concept School's Science and Engineering Fair. Whereas science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM skills, have become essential components of a 21st century education. And whereas the Indianapolis's own Indiana Math and Science Academies, IMSA, showed their commitment to the quality of STEM education by competing against 44 different schools from Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, Missouri, and Wisconsin in traditional science fair projects and a team robotics competition. And whereas over 500 science fair projects were submitted, and
whereas IMSA students medaled 40 times with 3 honorable mentions, 6 bronze, 10 silver, 20 gold, and 1 best in category recognition. And whereas the best in category project was a video game designed by a 7th grader through a partnership with individuals at the Indiana School for the Blind and Visually Impaired. And whereas the 2 IMSA robotics teams placed 3rd and 4th out of 24 different school entries. And whereas IMSA will open a mayor-sponsored South Campus, continuing the school's commitment to high-performing college preparatory education with a strong emphasis on math, science, and technology. Now, therefore,
be it resolved by the City County Council of the City of Indianapolis and of Marion County, Indiana, Section 1, the Indianapolis City County Council proudly recognizes the students of the Indiana Math and Science Academies for their outstanding performance at the Concept School Science and Engineering Fair. Section 2, the Council looks forward to seeing a continued commitment to STEM education with IMSA's new South Campus opening in the fall of 2013. Section 3, the Mayor is invited to join this resolution by affixing his signature here too, which he has done. And Section 4, this resolution shall be in full force and effect upon adoption and compliance with Indiana Code 363414. And with that, I so move, Madam President.
Proposal number 984 has been properly moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye. The proposal carries. Back to the speakers.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, with that, I'd like to turn it over to one of the parents of the students who competed in the fair.
Good evening, Madam President and council members. My name is LaShawna Cole, and my husband and I are the proud parents of Andreas Cole, who won the best of category at the science fair. When I was asked to speak about IMSA North, it's a lot of things that I can say, but 2 things that really stood out in my mind. My son is an African-American young man, and at IMSA North, he has had the awesome opportunity and advantages to be able to explore being a robotics engineer and a video game designer. We had the opportunity to go to Chicago for a regional competition, and as I observed the room and looking around in the diversity, IMSA North had the only all African American team. So I was like, wow, what an awesome opportunity they were awarded. And that other young men, we often see a lot of our children displayed in a negative aspect, but to see some preteens doing something that is awesome and to be able to be recognized, that was a value to me. And then when we went to the science fair, I also had the opportunity to be a judge in the chemistry department, and I was judging a young lady, and a part of our rubrics we had to judge on how many trial periods that they ran to prove their hypothesis. And she only done 1 trial period, and my question to her was, why did you only run 1 trial? And she said, I used all the supplies that I had. I only had enough at home to do 1 trial. And her board was kind of put together, and you could tell it was homemade. I thought about IMSA North. They asked our students to give them a supply list, and they purchased the supplies, purchased the materials that they were able to utilize and be able to run more trials to effectively do their projects. So I'm thankful for IMSA North, and I look forward to seeing the awesome things at IMSA North South. And thank you guys for the opportunity for us to be here today.
And now we'll hear from one of these students who competed in the fair.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jasmine, and I would like to start off by first thanking the City Council for giving me, as well as my fellow schoolmates, this great recognition for all of our hard work. We all recognize the importance of science to our futures. I want to become a nurse one day, and I know that a good science education is important for our careers. For my project, I determined the amounts of calcium in different brands and types of milk. I measured the amount of light that was absorbed by the calcium in the milk. During this experiment, I learned what a spectrophotometer was. I used this high school level tool to conduct my hands-on experiment and get my results. Our team worked very hard to achieve the results we did at CONCEF. I know that every single student took a lot of time with their experiments, made sure they deeply understood their projects, and got a lot of feedback from parents and teachers. Hands-on projects like these give us a better appreciation for science. On behalf of all the IMSA students, thank you for honoring us with this resolution.
You know, so often we see young people in our city in the headlines of the newspapers, and I think it's really important that when our kids are doing great things, that we also take time to recognize those achievements. So thank you for this resolution.